Hello, everyone. Welcome to this new live session of Customily. Good afternoon and good morning or good night. Thank you all for joining us today. We have a very special live session all together, and there's a big crowd today, and hopefully more will be joining soon. So we're going to get started. What is Customily? Most of you installed the app quite recently and are either getting started with your store from scratch or beginning the process of selling personalizable products on an existing store. For both cases, we have the perfect tools to get started. Customity is an app that provides your store with live previews of products, along with options that your customers can interact with, changing those live previews with every interaction. From text typing to clip art selection or image upload, your preview will change live and give you a realistic example of how your customization will look on the product. If you can see this example, for example, this product has a regular listing photo, has variants in size and color, but these options are brand new. And if we can interact with them, you will see that you can type something, a name, like this, and the preview will start changing. In fact, you can start playing around with different colors, typing ears. Let's see that you can change live everything, and also you can start picking up different clip arts. In this case, we're going to pick a woman and see how it shows up, but that's not all. You can start playing around with the skin colors and the eye colors as well as the lips. Then you can actually have a lot of hairstyles to check out, garments and shoes, for example, even add glasses if you want that. And also, I mean, this is very interesting, you can add some features or add some images that will have an extra cost. For example, if you want to add the diploma and the hat. Also, backgrounds are easy to come by and available. But the cool thing about Customity is that because the live preview is working together with you and with your product, if you go back and you click on any of the color variants that you selected at the beginning, you will see that change with your design. So this is done by loading a template on the page as well as the options. And these two elements are created in Customity. We have this product that came from Custom Cut originally, but if you follow the steps of creating a template from scratch, you'll be able to create the options automatically and connect them to any of your existing products. As simple as that. So as you can see, Customity will be able to create new products and also work with your existing products. What is Customity 2.0? Well, it's our latest update for Shopify stores, which allows you to create and publish personalized products easier, faster, and better than before. Those starting your stores from scratch will have more interest in this section because now you can choose a product directly from a print on demand supplier, add a design to it, and get it published in your Shopify store, all from Customity app. Also, with the print on demand services that have an API connection, all the fulfillment processes will be automated. This means that once you receive a purchase, all the order details and the ready to print file will be sent to the corresponding POD provider automatically for fulfillment and shipping. And another interesting feature for Shopify users is the free access to Customity's design libraries. This means you can find designs ready to use and sell, or you can use this exclusive clipart collection to create your own art. So we can say that there are four different paths you can explore with Customity 2.0. You can work with a print-on-demand provider who has its own product catalog and add a design from Customity's library to it. This is the fastest path, the one that allows you to have published products ready to sell in minutes. You can work with a print-on-demand provider, but choose to add your own designs to their products. In this case, you will have to populate your design library before being able to publish products in your store. On the other hand, if you have your own products and are not interested in working with a print-on-demand provider, the way to go is to start by populating your product-based library first. After you have your own product mockups, you can choose to add a design from Customily's library to them and create and publish products really fast. Or you can, of course, add your own designs to your own products. This is the path that involves more time, but once you have all your product mockups and all your designs set up, it's just a mix and match game and you'll be able to create and launch new products in seconds. Now, now that you have the different alternatives clear, we're going to create some products together. If you recall, I mentioned that you can have customity designs, but not necessarily work with them as they are, as they come. And today, this is a special live session because we're going to create a product using a POD supplier, a customity design, but then we are going to change that and make it our own. We're going to create this product that I showed you before, yeah? But as you can see, and you are going to do this really fast and create this product from custom cut, you will see that we have less options in our customity design. And we are going to give more options, change designs, and do a lot of things that are going to make this exactly the way we dream about. So I'm going to get started right away. Okay. Um, Now, off to the beginning. Imagine I'm a Shopify store owner. I want to start selling personalized products and just install Customily to try it out. Here we are in the main menu of Customily. You can see at the left bar that we have 6 sections. The first 3 sections are shortcuts to the 2.0 tools. The other 3 sections are the main core of Customily. You can explore, manage, and create your templates, upload and organize your assets in libraries like colors, fonts, vectors, and images. And you can see all your connected products in the store section, as well as change many settings that will help you customize the front end experience of your customers. As I said, today we're going to create that product we showed you at the beginning. And for that, we are going straight to the start menu. In this area, we are going to have access to print-on-demand providers, design libraries, and product mockups. These 2 last sessions, we are going to keep covering them in future live sessions, but if you check back what we have been doing so far in the live sessions of April and the ones of last week when we started off on May, you'll be able to find a lot of products in which we cover PODs, we cover Customity 2.0, Customity basics for existing products, we cover my designs, and we cover my product bases. So we have a lot of information and examples ready to go. We are going to be also updating our videos to share some of the assets we are using, so you can practice these tutorials and gathering some feedback from previous live sessions. We set up this special session when we're going to be going deep into the options and deep into the designs, and we're going to change what Customity gave us in the beginning. Many of you like our clip art, and they actually don't want to start pulling together the bodies and the eyes and the mouth and the hairstyles. They want everything all put together, but they have their own assets and they have their own backgrounds and ideas, and they want to change that. So we are going to show you how to do that and how to also add some extra things to the customization process. Okay, so let's start selecting a POD with automatic fulfillment. That's the ones that are indicated here, have API connection, so you can integrate your API from any of these accounts into Customity, and that will allow you to check their catalogs. That will allow you to select any product, create that product, bring that information through the API, and also be connected to the POD when you get a purchase, and the ready to print file goes straight to them. Remember that Customily will not only show you the preview on the store, but it's going to create as well the print file. So everything is solved for you, and the middleman gets out of the way, and everything your customer designs and previews will go straight to the printing right away and really fast. So I'm going to select, for example, custom cut, as we mentioned before. There's a lot of products in their catalog. If you're looking for any specific product that you may not find right now, you're always welcome to write to support and request that product to be added. We try to keep up adding new products as the PODs send us the bestsellers, also by demand from customers. There's a lot of things, and we try to keep up with the most trending ones. I'm going to select the G500 t-shirt. When you select this, depending on the supplier, you will get a lot of variants. In this case, we have color and size. Now I'm going to pick a couple of colors. I recall the example had white, had, I think so, had, yeah, lime, like pink and light blue. Yeah, that was fine. And yeah, now very important, when you select color variant, the information from that POD, including the photos of the mockup, will be sent to Customily. In the case of the size, as long as the print area will keep the same and just the gear will, the clothing will change in size, there's no modifications that are involved in the size variant. But it's very important to keep that in mind, because later and in previous examples, we have done canvas and stuff, and so size starts to matter. Depending on the product, different interactions will be available with Customily. Once you set this up and select at least one variant of each, you go next, and here you can go to your designs, or you can pick from Customily Design. I'm going to pick one of my designs and from Customily Designs, and you will see that we have all the categories here. Can browse through a lot of things and check out that we have seasonal and special days, as well as organized by featured characters and special for certain days, certain products, for example. And I'm going to find graduation and find the one that I want to use. And this case is this one, as of 2023. Once you click on the design, Customily will start working for you and do the following. It's going to create a new product in Shopify in your store. It's going to call the POD provider through the API and bring the listing photo, the variant, the print area, and whatever information that the POD will send us about the product. And together with that, it's going to pick the design you selected from Customily database. It's going to put it on the print area, so the print file is ready, and also it's going to put it on the preview with the mockups, so the preview for the customer is ready. And those two pieces of information are what make the template. Okay, as long with the template, as long with the design, you will have the options. And so that is all being built right now as we speak. Before you can publish this, you get a final revision. And in this final revision, you can check out how the preview is going to be looking. There's also a couple of extra shortcuts. For example, we can edit the options. In case I want the name, the year, and then I want the woman or man, I can just edit the options and change the order, change the labels. And if not, I can just go to, for example, edit product details. And here I will have some information that I can change right now. For example, I can change the product. I'm going to call this live session graduation t-shirt. Like that, I can change the description, and I could actually change the price of all variants, which are too many. So I'm going to change it the right way. But If I want to go later and bulk change this, I just can go to Shopify and I will have all the same information. I'm going to save this and go back to the final revision. In here, we are going to play around with the customizations. For example, I'm going to type something and choose a man, yeah, or a woman, for example, yeah. And of course, I will have to do some change, selecting some skin tone, eye color, lips, then change the hairstyle like this, for example. Have some pants, some sneakers, and the eyes, and this will look like this. Okay, and if I like this, I can just well, I don't like the color, so I'm just going to either change this to light pink. You see, variants are pulling the right color as well. And I'm going to save this as my new listing photo. If you have seen previous live sessions, you will see that this process is really fast, and we have done this before. Today, we're going to do something different with this. So I'm going to publish this. Remember that if you don't have the API integrated with Customily, you will get this message. This means that you can still publish the product, you can still sell the product, but it will not automatically fulfill until you go here and you enter the API of your POD. I'm going to say OK right now to skip this, but later you can go straight. So this is the product. This is the new listing photo, and you see here we have all the options exactly as we saw on the final revision, like this, and we can change this. But we're going to do something else. This is nice, but I don't like this design, and I have more assets that I want to add. So I'm going to check this product on the back end of Customily. So what I'm going to do is going back to Customily. So we created this product really fast, but what happened on the back end? On the back end, I can see that, for example, if I go to libraries, I will see that I have in the image libraries all the information from the from Customily and from the design. So I will be able to go, for example, to the last page and check out the man, facial hair, arm, glasses, woman body. So here it is. So I can open this, I can edit this, and check out that I have this already on my username. And this is exactly what is loaded on the design. If I check, for example, with I select a woman, I will see that here. Yeah, I have all these assets now, and I can just pull each and every library into new designs as easy as that. Also, if I go to store, the store area, I can check out that if I go to link products, the same as here, these are all my Shopify products right now, and I should be able to find the new product, which the new product is this one, the G500. In fact, since I changed the name of this, I could sync again and have that changed right away to something called live sessions, graduation t-shirt. So that's number 5. Yeah, sorry, graduation t-shirt. Yeah, that's the product. It's a brand new product that I have on my store. If I open this inside Customily, I will see the listing photo, the name. I can actually preview this on the store, which is this. But here I get some information. I get the template that is being used right now with a specific code. I get the options that are being used right now as well. Okay, and very interesting, if I open the variants, I will see that I have access to the variants. I have the size variants, okay, and I have the color variants. Now check out the color variants. Apparently, the light blue has an image, imagine this, if I recall, I don't know, like 20 variants, right? So the light blue was actually in number 15 of all the list of variants. The light pink was 16 and lime 17. If you recall correctly, they were one next to the other, but white was actually 29, was like the last variant. So there were 29 variants at all. Okay, and I'm going to take a quick image of this because I'm going to be needing this information later. The reason why I'm showing you this is because it's important to understand how things are working inside Customily. Apparently now I have in these variants the possibility to load an image. And this image is not just any image. This one is object number 770. And we're going to see why this works. But basically, whenever you click on a variant, you're shifting these images and be able to show the right color. That's done automatically by Customily, so you don't have to do anything. But if you later want to change something, or you want to change different mockups because you, instead of having this image in white, you have something with a context or a table, or you like this to change, and you have these four images, so you can't change them anywhere you want. So you need to change them precisely where they are, so the product still works. But inside this area of Customily, you can go in deep into every aspect of your new product. What I'm going to do is going to keep this open, okay? And I'm going to the template section to check out what else Customily did for me. These are my templates. There's a lot of products in my store, but if I check the last modified, I will see that this one is the last template. This means this is the one loading. In fact, by the code 5A91, I can be certain that this is the template that we created last. And this is not something you can just see. You can edit, change, save it again, and the design will change accordingly right away, just with a refreshing of the page. And that's what we're going to do, because sometimes I get that feedback. We like Customily designs, but we want to do something else. This on a different background, on a different scenario, change the hat, change the clothing, stuff like that. So you're welcome to do that and keep using Customily designs. First things that I'm going to do here is I'm going to save this as the main template. Why? Because, well, the product is working and I don't want to break anything. So what I do is I clone it. I create an exact copy that I can break into as many pieces as I want. I'm going to change this to class of cartoon style. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, and I'm ready to go into this and start checking around how this is behaving. I'm going to edit this. Remember, the original template is there, so nothing to worry about. Everything is still working, but I need to check how this was made. This is made like this. I have a background object, a dynamic image that is basically books. Then I have this image for the off, this image for the class, and this text. Actually, you see it's a text for the ear, so I can preview something here like this. Also, I have a name for the text, and I can type something here. Okay, and now we get started on checking out how the Customily Design Studio works. Right now, I'm in the first step of creating a template or editing an existing template. I can start from scratch. There's a button showing you again. Let me just open a new tab, because you can open as many tabs as you want in Customily. In templates, you can always create a new template. But we're going to start with something already made. In this template, you start off in the first step, which is when you set up the print file. You set up the size of the print file. In this case, this size was sent by custom cut, and the design was placed to be within the boundaries of that print area. All the rest of the information came from the Customily design. Then you have other tools that you can start playing with. You can create, like you said, like you saw before, text boxes, either straight or curved. You can set up image placeholders and vector placeholders. These are objects that will allow your customers to upload their own images. You should check back some examples we made with blankets and canvas in which you can upload your customers will upload their images, arrange them, and create something really unique. We have a custom map tool, so you can pick any location in the world and get a nice map of that. And now we have also star maps, so it's the same concept. You just type the location plus you type the date, and you get a nice star map with a lot of color and designs. And the last tools we're going to check out is the dynamic images and dynamic vectors. They behave pretty much the same. One is meant for vector files like EPS and SVG, and dynamic images are meant for PNGs and JPEGs. But the great thing about these objects is that they can hold a lot of images together, not just one, but many. If you have one image, Customily will show that image by default, and it will be something like your background or, well, this class of, for example, like that. So that's as easy as an object to upload your own design. But if you have many options, like many hairstyles and stuff, you can start populating that by either uploading one by one or by connecting a library. And let me show you really quickly. If I go here to the man has a lot of objects inside a layout, meaning that Customily will understand that either you show a man or a woman, will create all the options and all the connections for that to work. But if you open man, for example, I can start previewing in the second position. Always this is empty until you start previewing something. So in the second position, I get to see the man in his own skin tones. Okay, then I get to see many eye colors, but I just have one by default. The shoes will also be available if I open something like that. The pants, the clothes, and you will see that there are some other extra items. So hairstyle like this. I don't only have to have number 2. I can go to number 20 if I want and preview that. This is just for previewing. Why? Because we connected a library, and this library is on your user. You can actually create a brand new dynamic image, find a library, maybe not a library, but I can actually find a dog, and I could change my design and use it to add a dog to the, yeah, like that. Well, obviously this should go a bit below, but like that. Oh, hello. Yeah. So this is entirely possible. You can add the dogs and you can redo all the options so the dogs will show, but it's entirely up to you. You have the resources. If you have already created a Customily design, you have all the assets. It's important to pay attention to how this was built. You will see that there's an image for the facial hair, there's an image for the diploma, and the arms and the sleeves actually show up differently. Why? Because they're kind of in front of the clothing, and so they are built like that in the clipart. Glasses as well, and the hat as well. So what I want to do with this particular design is I'm going to change some things. First of all, I'm going to change the fact that the hat will show up not by default, but only when I want to. And in this case, you will see that because of these IDs, each ID means that this object is unique and will behave independently and will have an option. For example, when you change the facial hair, you will have this ID 63, so that's an option. Now, in this particular case, the clothes are this row that is 64, but at the same time, the sleeves are also 64 and the hat is 64. That means that whenever you select the man or the woman, the clothing will be all together. like that. So these three items will show up by default because they have the same ID. So they are all selected at once. And I want the hat to be something different. So I'm going to change this to a unique ID called 80, for example, right? That means that it's going to have an independent behavior now. It's not going to show up with the rest of the clothing. And the woman will be the same. We're going to go to the hat in this case, yeah, and change this to be, you see the hat and the sleeves and the robe, they're all behaving together, and we don't want that. Okay, and we want this to be something different, so we're going to call this 81. There you go. That's the first thing I want to do. I want the hat to be something independent, and also the diploma, which is already something independent, will be taken later into consideration. Also, I want to do, and let me just open up some images so I can get a better glimpse of the girl, like that. Okay, oh yeah, I need to actually open this and open this, yeah, just to preview everything, lip color, eye color, all that together. One other thing I want to do is I don't like these books. I don't like the student sitting down on books. I want this to be something more characteristical of of the student. So I'm going to change this. Instead of one image that is just books, I'm going to put together a lot of images that are some options. If you recall from my example, there were some background objects that I could actually use. So I just replace this with something else. I go to upload image, and here I have a boombox, a few books, a guitar, a laptop, and many books. There you go. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to start playing around and rearranging everything. Yeah, this is going to be like here, and probably it's going to be bigger. I should preview something big like the guitar. Change it like that. You can resize everything, but the original proportion will always try to show. Yeah, I think that's it. I can always preview the other options to see if they're behaving well, if are looking nice on the design. Yeah, that one seems to be a bit touching the numbers, so I'm just going to put that there. Perfect. So now we have the backgrounds. We are going to move the woman and the man together to be more precise on this. Remember, we are creating something new, and I want to move them exactly the same. So I can select both of these layouts and move them together like that. Okay, just like that. Perfect. I can also grab everything and try to center this a bit. It's okay. Okay, and another thing that I don't like is this off. I'm going to take it away. I have another one. I'm going to put it here, like that. Oh, it's bigger. Okay, no worries. Okay, so I just made my own design. And another thing that I may want to add is this. You can also add to have more colors for the name. I had that on the example, yeah, but I'm not going to do that now. It's going to be for the next class because I want to show you how we can adjust the options to work with this. Now, don't worry about the double thing. This is always a selection, okay? So remember what we did here, and we need to actually change that a bit in the preview. This is the print file. We're already all set to go. Let's go next. And you'll see now that some things have changed. You don't see the product, right? You see something new here, which is the product color. You don't see that. Why? If you recall, the product is something that Custom Cut. Sorry, I wanted to interrupt this because I'm getting questions that we may need to go back a step. Just really quickly. Yeah, I wanted to go over some things. Remember, we came to Customily. We started off here. We have no products. This is empty at all. but we know that custom cut has products. So we go to custom cut, we go to the product of custom cut, we select at least one variant of each available, and we pick the Customily Design. In this case, we went to graduation category and picked this design. You see, when you created this, the template was made, and I'm able to access the template. I'm able to see all the girl information and all the objects and all the items that put together this design. And I'm able to change that any way I want. Okay? So that's what we're doing right now, and that's what I want to show you. The freedom of changing something that Customily built for you at the beginning. And now that I came back here, I wanted to add something else. What if I want to add something else? Now here I changed it and added these objects. And this is now called background. It's going to be called objects, for example. And I want to add a background. Why? Because I actually had that thought in the beginning. I want to create a new dynamic image, just an empty box that I'm going to fill with a lot of information. And in this case, the information that I want is, I want customers to be able to select either no background or some fireworks. So my first option is no background. So this one should be empty. And my second option should be the fireworks. So I'm going to upload from the second position, and I have these fireworks ready to go. Yeah, give it a second. Okay, this is going to be fireworks. And I'm going to drag this all the way down. I'm going to make sure this kind of looks nice and according to the idea. To the first position, which is M. Then you have this, 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 and this. Excellent. So going forward, you will see that we have some new items here. We have these books didn't update because some things behave independently from print file and preview. I'm going to keep that in mind when we are changing things in Customily. And if you check this new object, this product color object, you see this image is number 70. And now we are remembering that here, number 70 was this image that has the product colors, the ones that we selected. So if I check the number 15, I should be able to see this. And 16 should be pink, 17 should be lime, and 29 should be white. Now we understand why we have that connected in the product. That's why we didn't see anything at the beginning. And now we understand we see those products. But we need to put together again the things we kind of changed back in our design. Now we have two ways to go here. I can rearrange everything by hand. Okay, I can load again the images, and I can rearrange all the objects and change the off and change stuff. That can take some time. And the other trick I have is I can reset everything. This button is quite powerful, yet a bit dangerous. So keep it in mind that if I reset everything, all things will come from the first step, except for the product colors. So I need to create that again. And if I don't have the mockups, if I intend to replace the mockups, maybe I just do that because I have the images. If I don't, I may spend some time rearranging the objects to make sure it works. But when we do some substantial changes on the first step, we need to reset everything so everything will come precisely as we left. And I'm going to do that. And I know it's going to throw some questions. Remember, this was a special class that we had requested by many because they wanted to tamper on this and they wanted to know the basics of how to tamper on the templates and don't lose your mind on the process. I'm going to click on reset. Obviously, it's going to warn me that I'm about to lose some things, only the adjustments on the step 2 will be lost. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's rebuild everything. And now all is exactly as the first step. But don't forget, we can recreate our product colors. Imagine I have new, I'm going to throw this all the way down. Remember, it was number 70. That's very important to remember. Always keep that in mind. So nothing breaks about the original product. Remember, we had our first image in, 15, light blue. Yeah, so we go to the 15 position and we put the light blue. We go to the 16 position and put the pink, 17 for the lime, and 29 for the white. I recommend planning ahead before going all this way. But I promise that the end result is really amazing because it's always differential when you have your unique mockups and your unique designs, and Customily gave you a lot of information and a lot of content to save you time. So all you have to do is select everything from the design and shape it up and rearrange it so it's going to fit exactly how it was going to be printed. In fact, we can double check this and see pretty much we are there. Yeah, all said and done. Let's go next and save it. Now, the file and revision, as you know, will always present you with the print file and with the preview file. When it comes to the product colors, obviously you don't get to see that on the product or on the print file. But if you're going to be typing something like the name, it's important to see that whatever you preview will print. Just as simple as that. Okay? I may ask if I can save something before you reset. Now, there's a way to save that. I mean, it will be the best way to go to grab the mockups from your POD, or if you have better mockups, have them ready. I don't recommend hitting the reset button unless you have all the assets to rebuild what you lose about the product information. It's usually not that much, but sometimes it's just a background image, for example. So sometimes you want to hit that button because you have the background image or not. But when it comes to POD products, we need to be a bit careful, or either we have all the information from the POD itself. Now, taking away that information from Customily is, it's possible, but not the best quality because we protect the assets by downsizing the possible files you can take away from the front end. The high quality images are always stored in our server and are used exclusively for creating print files. So now that we created this new design, we need to do some changes to the option set. We're not going to go crazy into things about the option set, but remember that, page 5, this is the product. Okay, now very important, right now we are still working with the original template. If we want to use the new template, we need to disconnect this and go and connect the new one, which is this one. Also, we are not going to create a new set of options because let's face it, most of the options were made by Customily in the first design and we like them and we're going to use them. So let's not tamper on that. Let's keep that working. Use the original option set, but we're going to say not now, okay, and keep this. Obviously, because we are always trying to back up all our changes and whatever we play around with, I recommend cloning this and using a clone. So if you want to check out all your option sets, just come here to option sets. On the last page, you will see the last ones created. This one is the last one created. So all we have to do is clone it It has an exact replica, and we can play around with the cloned one. Let's open this and go to class on live session. We're going to change the name. Perfect. And now inside the options set, you will check out some new things. For example, name is the text input, the selection for woman or man. Then we have year. I actually want this to be next to name. Perfect. And then we start selecting. Once you select woman, these options from the woman will show up. And how do we know that? Because if we open one of these options and we check out the conditions, you will see that this option of the woman skin color will show when this drop down is woman. The other will say man. This way we control. Actually, this was done by Customily because you had layouts. So you can open each option, and instead of having the photo of the girl, you can have a color that is more attractive when it comes to skin colors. And then we have eye colors, and in the eye colors, actually we have these colors as well. We don't have images. Remember, we actually had that in here when we created the product, the eye colors and the woman lips. All these are color swatches that change images, of course. You know that because when you open the Customily function, you see what image we're talking about. If I'm going back to the template, I will see that in the image number 46, I have the skin colors of the girl and so on. So depending on what you select, you change different images inside this option. That's the logic behind Customily. So I see woman's skin color. I see the light swatch. I click this, and this will trigger the second position of this dynamic image. If I click on this swatch, that's the logic. Sounds like a bit too much, but it's always something that it's a continuum. So once you get the hang of this, it's going to repeat across everything. The eye colors, the lip colors, the hairstyle. Now the hairstyle is very interesting. This hairstyle, because it's a library with categories, you see one is a library and the other is a library with categories. So first you get to select the categories, and then you get to select these options depending on the category selected. If you build your library with categories, all this logic is done automatically by Customily. You don't have to worry about anything. This is just for you to understand how it's done. As simple as that. And check out these two options. This is very interesting. Woman cloth is actually a hidden option. This means that this option works, but it doesn't show. It's just for triggering the robe and the sleeves. And remember, the hat was also included here, but we took it off, and the hat is here. We don't see that. Yeah, but it's a hat. Now we're going to play with this. Let's do something different with the hat. Let's say I want to charge extra if you want a hat on your t-shirt. I don't know, maybe because it's going to have a glitter ink or something. It's very special when you add this hat, and I'm going to charge extra for that. So what do I need to do for that? I need to manually create my own options. By that, I'm going to go to the very bottom and say add option. Now this option is going to be a choice. We're going to make a choice, either add a hat or not. By default, you don't want to add a hat, and if you add a hat, you're going to be charged extra. Because it's an option you need to select. For selecting, you have drop-downs or swatches. Swatches imply images. Drop-downs are just menus like this one. This is a drop-down, and this is a swatch. So I just picked a drop-down, and I'm going to call this add a hat, and this is a question, of course, and I'm going to rectify that. I'm going to charge 5 extra if you want, plus 5 if you want to add a hat. This is just the label, just to inform them, and I have two options, option no and option yes. By default, I'm going to select no. Okay, That's it. That's all I need right now to select the hat. But what about the price? Now the price is an extra feature that Customily has. In the functions, in this selection, you don't have to do anything because you're not changing any object itself. You're not changing images or stuff. So usually we leave this function empty. But if we want to charge extra, we need to add a function that is called the add Shopify product. This means that you are able to assign another product to this particular option, to the yes option, and that product will be added to the cart and added to the price. That's our way to charging extra for customizations. So before you go into this option, you need to actually go to your Shopify backend and create a product that is the extra cost, basically. And I have this here. You see, I created a product that has no, that's the diploma, and this product has no image, has nothing. And the way I created this is called the hat option extra cost. Has to be active, but cannot be found on any collection. So you can add it to the cart. No need to have any media or description, just need to have a price, the extra cost, of course, some inventory, of course, and it can be a digital product, so there's no need for you to add this as a physical product for shipping. It's like an extra, like a service, exactly what Shopify calls a service. With this product created in your store, you're able to charge extra for a customization. How do we do that? We come here, we set this function, and we go to the add product, find the product, which is the option, yeah, hat option extra cost. There are many variants. Well, no, there's only one variant, and quantity one. Maybe you can add more than one. That's entirely up to you, but you have that possibility inside Customily. So right now, whenever I pick yes to add the hat, it's going to charge me 5 extra. Okay, but then I need to be able to control how the hat shows or hides depending on the on this choice. So I'm going to drag this all the way up and put it here before the woman hat. So this question should be like the other questions of the woman, of the other options, is going to have a condition that is going to show when we select woman. Remember, we are always talking about the woman, and then we're going to talk about the man. So this will show when we select woman, and then the hat will need to show up, not when we select woman, otherwise it's going to show all the time. We need to have this show up when we select add a hat 5. And of course, it's not, the option is yes. Remember, we made this independent, so we put this 80 back on our template. It's very important to change that. Right now, we have this image that's going to be showing the hat only when we select to add the hat. Yeah, and we can do the same with the diploma as well. For that, you don't have to build all this again. You can always clone the option like that. Scroll down, find the pants, the shoes, the glasses, and there's the diploma. So we come here, we change this to diploma and arrange that. Obviously, we are going to add a Shopify product. We are going to load this on woman, and the product is not this hat option, but is actually the diploma option. I could use the hat because they have the same price, but let's keep things organized and understandable. Again, in the case of the diploma, remember the diploma is something that will show up when we select add a diploma in yes. Like that. So instead of adding the other things about the man and stuff, I'm going to save this and I'm going to show you how it's going to change that in the live preview. I'm just going to refresh this. Okay. And get it out. Obviously, it's showing the same. Why? Because we didn't change the option set. That's very something that I get a lot. Sorry, that's my distraction. If I come to this product again, okay, and let me just go back to the products, find the product again. Yeah, we have the cloned template, yeah, the live session template, and we need to remove this option and assign another one, the one we just created, like that. We save this. Always remember this product is linked to custom CAD. So we are just doing some adjustments on the back end, changing templates and options, but the main product is still functioning connected to custom CAD. And that's all we need to know. That's all we need in the end. So now the options are all changed up. And if I go to woman, I get to see this. Oh, apparently I selected this before. So yeah, when you say yes, the diploma shows up. Okay. And in the hat, actually have this no. I need to check why this is not showing. Probably because it's connected on the template. I just probably didn't change the right size. Or maybe that was 81 instead of 80. I have to remember that. I think I changed the name of the reference. When you miss the reference and you miss the ID, these kind of things happen. And I probably forgot the name. I need to double check. But the diploma actually works. You see, the diploma actually goes like that, and you have that extra cost. How do you know that? Because if you add to cart, you will get the t-shirt and you will get the diploma extension. That's how you charge extra. My product has no price because I just created that and I need to finish that up. But you see in the subtotal, we'll see that. Now we need to go deep into see why this didn't change, probably because of the reference. But I wanted to show you really quick and don't take too much of your time. Remember, this can always be revisited, and we can actually have like another session in which we break this again or take back what we left before and do some other changes. We are always open to new suggestions. What about the objects that we wanted to create, and what about the backgrounds we wanted to create? I think I have a thing about the template. Yeah, let me just check it very fast. Maybe I didn't save this. That would be no, I didn't. I did save this. Okay, I didn't save this. I guess this is a live session, right? And I should have this template working really perfect for me. I think I didn't save it at all with the changes. Remember, we made the changes and we actually had the T-shirt and resized everything. So we need to double check if I probably using the wrong template. Just give me 1 second because I want you to see how things works in the end. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Oh, no. That's why we need to double check. This is the one. Okay. Now that's the one we changed at last. I probably have some cache issues that I will have to check. So really fast, wanted to show you that you can add new options when it comes to swatches. Remember we had these backgrounds that were fireworks. So if you select swatch and you select something called fireworks, you can manually add those options one by one. The first one will be no fireworks and have the options to be the first. There was a dynamic image that we created, I think 83. And so the first option was no fireworks, and the second option was some fireworks, but actually I can put an image and the image can be exactly the same. It will become a custom thumbnail. So after we found out that our hat was not working exactly as we expected, I double checked on my template and realized that I changed the ID of the man hat to 80 and the woman hat to 81. So, as mentioned before, it was my bad. This woman hat was incorrectly referenced and now it should be working perfectly. So I'm going to save this and show you how it's working. When we select the woman, there's no hat until we start making choices. We have the diploma and the hat, like that. Now it's working perfectly, and the way also the diploma. The order is not right because we're still rearranging our option set, but I can come back to the option set and check out that after the woman, the add the hat and the woman hat, there's the pants, the shoes, and the glasses, and I could just change this all the way down. Then we have add hat and add diploma, and this is all working. Now for the man's skin color, we're going to keep the same settings: the eyes, the hairstyle, these categories of straight curly, and the facial hair. That's something that we actually want to make an option. Right now, there's a way in which you can have beards, mustache, and both together, and no will be the default selection. These are the categories for facial hair, and then we have the cloth, and we have the hat, the pants, the shoes, and the diploma. I'm going to drag this down, and as mentioned before, there's no need to create the option right away, but you can actually clone the one you created and make sure it works perfectly with the settings, except that we're going to change the condition. Let me show you. I'm going to clone this. Now I have a cloned option. I can drag this all the way down to the hat, and I'm going to call this add a hat. I'm going to ask the question, remove the cloned label, and check out that instead of having this showing for the woman, I'm going to have this for the man. The function is still going to be the Shopify product, and in the yes, we're going to load the hat option extra cost. Now, very important, the man hat, this swatch that was working for this dynamic image will have to change to this because now we want this to behave independently. And the condition that was showing when you select a man is going to change to when you want this to have a hat for the man. So we're going to call this yes. We're going to do the same for the diploma. Just find this one here, clone it, and drag it all the way down to the diploma here. And we're going to delete this. We are going to change this conditioning to be a man. And the diploma has this condition that we have to change that to the last one we created. This adding a diploma is yes. Saving this will take us all the way here to the graduation, and now we can see how both man and woman will have that. I'm going to set this to be a woman. I have the eye colors in the eye and the lips color, the hairstyle, everything, and the hat will be like this, and the diploma will be like this. If I go all the way and change this to a man, it's going to have the same behavior. I'm going to go this, and it should say. So apparently we're not being able to dress this guy, and let's check why. Probably when we come to the clothes here, remember that the clothes were running automatically. So if I go to check out the clothes here, it should have the image we're working for, which is this one, 64, the man clothes, and the man um, sleeves. Perfect. So why is it not loading? Apparently the condition is correct. The option to load is the first position, yeah, but it's actually wrong here. You see, it's trying to load the first position when we actually have the cloth in the second position. This is very interesting because the reason why it's not showing is because this was set up originally. So with this small correction and saving, we fixed that thing. It's important to check out when you have these anomalies in the logic, that it's important to check the right references for the IDs and the right references for the positioning of the different products and the different images inside a dynamic image. You see, now we get the guy, has pants and everything, and that's all ready to sell. Now we're going to add a couple of extra options. The first option we're going to add is the choice of the different objects for our character. And the second option we're going to add is the backgrounds. So if you recall, we started off creating a new option, and this option is going to be a swatch because we have those images and we want to use them. It's going to be select object, could be one option. And here's the thing, we want to select from a specific dynamic image. So the specific dynamic image we're going to be looking for is the one that has the object. This one is number one. So we're going here. Remember, the first position has the boombox, then we have the books, the guitar, the laptop, and the more books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going in this swatch. The function is to work on a dynamic image. Which dynamic image? Number one. So now I'm creating a swatch to control that dynamic image. How am I going to control this? I'm going to add 5 swatch values because I have 5 images, and each one of these swatch values will have a specific position and a specific name and thumbnail. I can manually create this, but remember, Customily will always create this for you automatically, like we did with the hairstyles and the clothing. But if you are adding extra images and you don't want to redo the entire option set because it has so many customizations, you can manually create this like that. So I'm going to do this boombox and I'm going to add the image that I set up already, like this. I'm going to, in fact, this is not the best image. Actually, I have a better image that is cut out, especially for the thumbnails. This one is going to be position 1. By default, is the position 1. Then I'm going to have the books and browse for that. Then I'm going to have the guitar, browse for that. Then I'm going to have the laptop. And finally, we have more books, like this. Yeah, or many books, it's the same. That's is going to create that option. And remember, we link this with the function to this dynamic image. So if I were to refresh this after saving, I will get that new swatch right away. Now the swatch will show up by default because I did not condition this to any woman or man. This is one thing you can do, having this by default. Or if you want this to look nicer, what you can do is condition to show with both options. So they will show up at the end and it's going to look nicer on the presentation. How you do that? You go all the way up here to conditions and you add a condition to show when woman or man is woman, or this is and or, is very interesting to play with this, or when this is man. Given that this is going to be hidden until you select something, it's usually a great tool to start showing things as long as you keep customizing instead of crowding everything all at the same time. So it's redundant because you will always show that, but it's an effect that creates that provides your customer with the idea that whatever you choose, you're dropping all this information and this is showing up. And when you click here, it's going to change. Why? Because we connected this to the right dynamic image. Now I'm going to do the same with the backgrounds. Remember, we created this fireworks here, which is ID number 82. And the fireworks has no background at all. A center firework, stars, more fireworks and more fireworks. So we have 5 swatch options. So I'm going here and I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I did. Let me just refresh this all the way down and open this. Go Let the libraries load, and here, select object is one. So I'm going to add a new option. Oh, there is. So, I'm in the second page. That's why I was kind of lost in that. Let me give me a second. Okay, 4. This is no, 40. I'm just in the very edge of the second page. So, yeah, there you go. So I'm going to create this, another swatch, say select background, and the function, remember, we're going to be controlling the dynamic image number 82. Always keep the template open when you're doing this kind of adjustment because it's the best way to double check what you have created on the template and what you need to reference on your option set. The condition will be, again, to show on both cases. So we have this looking nice, or man. Okay, and then we are going to add the 5 values. First value on the position 1 by default will be no background. And I have a no thumbnail ready to go. Then we're going to do a few fireworks. Guess we can call this like that. It's this one, number 1. Then we have stars. It's this one. Then we have more fireworks. Yes. And then we have, for example, I don't know, big fireworks. This is the swatch that I want to use. And that's it. That's the new swatch we created. And we can refresh this. Yeah, you will always get the name first. Always get the year as well. And once you select the position here, you're going to be able to take the skin, take the colors, go for the hair. This kind of looks like me. I think I have some sort of beard like this if I shave. And I have my pants, and I have my shoes, my glasses, and I like a hat, and I like a diploma, and I'm willing to pay 5 extra for each. I like books and computers, but I like computers better. And yeah, let's go for the fireworks like that. But I actually can have this. You see, there's a lot of possibilities in here. Yeah, I like this one. And I'm going to buy the, make a preview on all of them. I'm going to buy the buy one. Yeah, and that's the best. Now, the cool thing is you can click preview and save this image to be your new listing photo. Yeah, I can call this like mockup. Okay, and I go to Shopify and I change this on the media of the file of the product, because if you recall, when you load this for the first time, this is the image you get for the listing, and you actually changed this design, so you want that to be replaced, and you replace this in the Shopify backend. Of course, it's going to be uploaded to the to the Customily YouTube channel. All questions that you may encounter can be addressed to support@customily.com. There's also a live chat in the app when you are in office hours, and there's a lot of Facebook communities we have in both English and Vietnamese that you can join. Also, we're going to be doing advanced lessons again, so keep posted, keep around, ask more questions, give us some feedback, and we're going to see you back on Thursday. Okay, thank you all, and have a great end of the day.